Hi, my name is Danisha Edwards, and I am a featured artist here at the Juneteenth exhibition. My works are the Uprooted and Drifted Spirits. Both works cover kind of like my lineage and heritage, my connection to my ancestors through my dreams. And Uprooted is about kind of sowing your seeds, spreading the message, kind of continuing the education of knowledge of yourself for culture and heritage. Everybody probably has a story of being taken from a homeland or a home country. So this piece kind of hits on that as far as sowing your roots, reestablishing your roots in who you are. Drifted Spirits covers the land speaking to you, that connection to Mother Nature and the energy and the spirits of the land. So those are my pieces.
Hi, I'm Victor Montague. I'm going to be a featured artist in the Juneteenth expedition at Sulfur Studios. And I have two pieces that I'm entered. And one is the Haitian migration, which depicts the image of freedom and the hope for that freedom in itself. It depicts images of the border and the border patrols trying to stop the migration of the Haitians when they were fleeing for refuge to America. And it pretty much represents the same thing that we all are searching for, which is that freedom. And we all have our different things that we're going after to feel free. And to me, it represents a limitation and a restriction on you being able to retain that, if that makes sense. I did this image because it really reflects two periods in time that kind of mirror themselves, and it almost is like history repeating itself. So in a way, I feel like if it's a slippery slope, and if we're not keeping our eyes open, it's just slow trickles down to the same path that we have been. So I feel like it's important to kind of see real situations in a photograph or even in a still time where you're able to kind of decipher the emotions of both sides, both parties, and kind of get the whole view of what's actually being taken place. And my second piece is called Top 5. It depicts pretty much, it's a slave image that depicts modern day fashion. So it's a lot of fashion pieces and fashion brands that maybe take from the culture that maybe not giving back that same volume in return. So I have images of slaves pretty much kind of dappered out in a sense where they are the starting five. They're pretty much the top five. They're the lead in the pack, and they shine how they shine. It's just that their situations limit them to where they are. So I feel like it's a chance where you can see yourself in a different situation, and that's all you need to do to kind of just be able to get a perspective for everybody else. So those are my two images I have in this show, and I am glad that they're here, and I hope you all enjoy them. Appreciate it.
I'm Jasmine Cage. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and I've made two pieces for this show. The first is called Young, Gifted, and Black, which is, of course, a nod to Miss Nina Simone, in which a little boy is holding a model train, but instead of the bright, shiny model train, it's more of a subway car model train, and it's all pieced out and damaged. And this is to convey the idea of what reality that young Black boys, and to a degree young men, are born into in this country. So I was imagining this small model train, but if you could shrink yourself down to the size of a mouse and walk around, it probably wouldn't smell great. It probably wouldn't maybe even be operational. So that is just kind of a metaphor for what would be packaged as a gift, but really is questionable. And to a degree, the other piece that I created is my father, the soldier, who was born into a reality that was not kind either. He was born in 1940. he enlisted in the army at a young age, I believe younger than 18, and the Latin phrase at the bottom of the painting, minor hoc, means too young for this, which he certainly was. And it was his only choice at the time to escape the poverty and the abuse of his family. And he paid the ultimate price and gave it all. He was a civil rights activist, and at that time, I mean, you essentially had two choices: to accept your fate, which was cruel indeed, or to forge a path. That's what he did, and I'm really proud of him. I wish he could be around to see the celebration that Juneteenth has become. And at the same time, it's bittersweet, because I think he would also be dismayed at this point in time to see how far we have yet to go when it comes to battling the systemic racism and a lot of the events of late. But I like to think that he would still be encouraged, because he saw hope everywhere he went. He saw the best in people. And he also saw. He also got to travel. He was enlisted. He went to Germany for a period of time, and he would always talk about how in Paris, France, black men could dance with white women. And I know that Miss Nina Simone herself spent the last couple decades of her life, I believe, in France, because she talked about how the art superseded all over there. They didn't really care who was making it, because they just appreciated it. So I love to be a part of a space that appreciates art as well, and it's my pleasure to present these works to y'all, and thank you for having me.
Hello everyone, my name is Napoleon Wilkerson, and I'm a local artist here in Savannah, Georgia. I'm also an art teacher. I've been teaching in the public school system for almost 30 years, 27 to be exact. And I work at the Savannah Arts Academy, teaching painting and art history. The piece that I have in the Juneteenth show is a piece that I titled Freedom Fighters, because it represents 3 African American soldiers who risked their life in order for other Africans to have freedom. The subject matter is about the Civil War, and the whole show is about Juneteenth. And Juneteenth is a celebration that we have here in the South, all over the South. And it represents the time when in Galveston, Texas, where they were pretty late getting the news that the enslaved Africans were free due to the Emancipation Proclamation, which happened, I believe, around 1863. I believe January 1863. They didn't get the news until like 2 years later. And it is said by some historians that messengers were sent out to try to get the news to Galveston, Texas, but possibly these messengers were killed. And another reason why is that they wanted to hold on to the labor. They wanted the harvest, the cotton crop, as long as they could. But it wasn't until like 1865 when General Ranger and his regiment came into Galveston, Texas, and had to declare that the Africans were truly free. And my painting shows the 3 soldiers done in watercolor. That's my specialty. And it shows them ready for battle. And I try to capture the courage and bravery that they would have to have in order to go into battle and to fight for freedom. So it's about liberation and freedom.
My name is Abiodun David. I'm from Chicago, but I currently reside in Albany, Georgia. I've been an artist for a while now, ever since I was young. But as I started to move forward in my future, I started working in different mediums as far as ceramic, sculpting, design, and photography. And right now, I currently do photography. It's probably one of the strongest things that I'm working with as for right now. But as far as the piece concerns, the piece that I submitted into the Juneteenth exhibition, the piece started out as mainly just bringing awareness to African culture. It went along with my senior showcase, because my senior showcase was about African culture and their heritage and stuff like that, because I'm Nigerian and my father is from Nigeria. So it meant a lot to me. Originally, I only started out making ceramic African masks, but I decided to add my own photography in there. Now, the thing about this piece was I took the picture as a practice picture, and I wasn't gonna use it because I had my shirt off and it had like my tattoo scars in the picture. And when I showed this to my professors, they asked me, they said, "Why isn't this in the exhibition that I'm doing?" And I said, "Well, I really didn't want to use it because it had my shirt off, and and then I edited the picture a little bit. I made it better to me, and I ended up using it for my exhibition, for my senior exhibition actually. And then that's how I kind of like came along. Like it was just an accident gone good in a sense, and everybody loved the picture, so I fell in love with it myself. So that's kind of my take on the piece. Quite frankly, I ain't gonna say I'm new to Juneteenth, but I didn't really know about it until I got older, maybe about 19, 20 is when it was introduced to me. I really didn't know anything about Juneteenth until, my mom and my dad kind of explained to me what it was and how important it was, that it needs to be brought into the Black community, and it should be talked about more. It should be expressed more. And I realized not a lot of people celebrate Juneteenth, but a lot of people celebrate July 4th or other holidays. And I feel like this is a holiday that needs to be expressed through the African culture, since that's what it's prone to be. That's what it is. So to me, like I said, to me it was new to me, and I'm kind of glad that we can shine light on, not just shine light on African culture itself, because to me personally, February might be a little too short, and it's good to have another holiday that simplifies us African Americans itself. So that's great.
Hi, my name is Felicia Greenlee, and I'm from Seneca, South Carolina, and I'm here at the Sulfur Studios. I have my work here. It'll be on exhibit, and basically, I kind of call these portraits of America, and these pieces, pretty much, I guess it kind of does relate to the Juneteenth, and the object is how it relates to slavery, and I use the chain in my pieces a lot to refer to the past, and how if we don't realize that the past has an impact on our future. And I think in America, like I said, just recently they're making Juneteenth a national holiday, and I think if we don't start realizing that the past is important, and if we don't talk about it, then we're doomed to repeat our past and everything that's happened in it. So I think Juneteenth is important because I think America will start to realize that we do need to talk about the past. And that's why I usually show a chain, so as to bring that past is always with us, and we also have to learn to talk about what happened in the past and acknowledge it. And like I said, these are, like I said, portraits of America. And like I said, it's self-explanatory. I just wanted to show Black America and how we've been forgotten. it's just by things that are going in the news and what's happening. Like we said, make reference to like Trayvon Martin in this piece, and like I said, when we had Black Lives Matter movement. So I just want to show these people that were part of America and showcase in a way people can see that we're, like I said, we're all in this together.
Hello, my name is Tiara Unique Francois, and I want to talk a little bit about the piece that's included in the Juneteenth exhibition show. The piece is titled, let me see one more time. Ricky Jr. 19 and Tiara 2 months. This painting was inspired by some old family photographs. One day I was looking through the drawer of family pictures we have, and as I was looking through, I saw this one, and I felt like it was such a sweet moment that was also very, I don't want to say mundane, but it was so simple and sweet that I felt like capturing it with paint made sense. My parents had me really young, like 19 and 20, but with this image, I felt like my dad really fell into a role of being a father with excitement. Like he's kissing me as a baby. We were in a backyard having a photo shoot, and it was probably May or June. It was probably around this time, 20 something years ago. But the way that he held me as a baby, I felt like he really just assumed the role of a father with excitement. And to see that in such a young person was just a nice moment that I feel like we don't think about as much. We go through life and a lot of like traumatic things can happen to us. But I feel like when we remember these small moments that inside have a little bit of impact, even if that's not a moment we would have remembered if we didn't have a picture. So I wanted to really capture the essence of that moment with painting. In that piece, you can see a few words written, and I use that as kind of my underpainting. And you can see some of it shine through, but I wanted those words and the layers that exist on top of it to complement the image, which is almost like a love letter to my dad, that's kind of what the words say. You might not know exactly what's written, but you can still get that same message by just looking at the piece and interacting with it. So that's that.